This company just beat every number on Wall Street and the stock got slammed. Revenue hit a record $3.77 billion, up 22% in a year, a blowout quarter. And investors punished it anyways. It fell 17% in a single day. If you own ServiceNow, do not look away because there's one bet that's going to decide if you make money or if you lose. My name's Ken Freeman. I'm a Rutgers Business School professor, CFA charter holder, and I have spent over 20 years on Wall Street. I train the top analysts at JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and BlackRock. They get paid six figures to do one thing: read SEC filings. So I went inside ServiceNow's 10Q and found what the headline skipped. I call what I found the demand test. And the test is simple. Today, ServiceNow is sacrificing profits and cash, but is the real demand enough to justify billions in spending? By the next earnings days away, we will find out. So is ServiceNow the buy of the decade, or are the bears finally right? Let's walk into the crime scene. The record quarter hid a problem. Revenue grew 22% in a year, but look at what it cost them. The cost of running the business jumped 44% in that same year. Costs grew twice as fast as sales, and that's simply not sustainable. And here is how that hits the wallet. Profit is what's left after the bills are paid, and the bills are rising way faster. Picture your paycheck increasing while groceries, rent, and your car eat all of it. That squeeze is where profits vanish, and that's why the stock got punished. The company's spending hard to grow, but the question is whether it all pays off. Most investors would just guess. Buy the stock, watch the price, hope they're right. That's just guessing. If you want to stop guessing, scan the QR code on the screen. So is this a gold mine in the works or a machine that's simply getting too expensive? To answer that, we need to follow the money. Picture a giant company with thousands of employees. A laptop breaks, a password dies, an order gets stuck. Every one of those becomes a ticket, and tickets are pure chaos. ServiceNow is the software that coordinates it all. Tech, HR, customer service, security, all on one platform.
ServiceNow is actually the control tower for reinventing these businesses. So if you think about business processes, they're really hard to do, and we're the best in the world at it. We have 100 billion workflows across every industry in the global economy, doing trillions of transactions for our customers.
Now, here's how the money comes in. The majority of what they make is via subscriptions, $36.71 million this quarter. Companies pay every year to keep it running. A tiny slice of revenue is set up and support, just $99 million. And that money pours in worldwide. North America, $23.59 million. Europe adds $979 million. Asia Pacific, $432 million more. Here's the secret weapon. Once a company starts using ServiceNow, leaving is brutal. Leaving means ripping out the tech stack backbone. That stickiness is the real moat. If this is the research that you want, hit like and subscribe. It helps me keep bringing Wall Street level research like this to you every week for free. So with a machine locked in like that, why is Wall Street so scared? When something scares Wall Street, the warning signs hide in the numbers. I found four, and they're significant. Start with the smallest one. Income from operations rose 12% in a year to $503 million. But the final profit barely moved, $469 million versus $460 million last year. Almost flat. So where did it go? The tax bill more than doubled, $204 million, up from $95 million just a year ago. While that's real, it's mostly a one-time hit, a mirage, not the whole story. The next flag is not a mirage. It's the one that really stings. Their gross profit margin is shrinking. That is how much they keep per sale. It went from 79% last year to 75% this year. On their subscription specifically, it's even worse, 78% down from 81% a year ago. The reason for all of this is the cost of AI. It's heavy and it keeps growing. Every point that they lose is real money gone, and it's slipped for 4 quarters in a row. But a short-term squeeze like this is survivable. The next flag reshapes the entire company. For years, this was a low-debt company, just $14.91 million owed. Then, right after the quarter closed, everything changed. They borrowed $4 billion in one loan to buy a company called Armis. The acquisition is intended to expand security workflow offerings across all connected devices. They set up $3 billion more to tap anytime, and they took $2.1 billion in short-term loans. In weeks, The debt multiplied several times, a whole new risk on the books. The balance sheet that you see in the filing is already out of date. While this is a big shift, Flag 4 is something that nobody can quantify yet. On July 1st, they blew up their pricing. Every plan now forces AI inside of it. Customers can no longer strip it out. Bulls say that that lifts every contract, but bears say that's a gamble. Roughly half of new business prices by usage, not by headcount. That makes revenue harder to predict. Their own finance chief warned this on record. The Armis deal will squeeze their cash flow margin by about 2% going forward. This is the flag that bulls cannot answer. Not yet, not until the numbers land. So, that's the bear case. But here's what the bears keep missing. This business is still a cash machine and it's growing where it matters most. So, with an engine running like that, what's the upside for bulls? Remember that debt that they took on? They needed it for the Armis acquisition, not to fund their operations. The business still prints cash, $1,670 million just from running it. The cash left over after paying every bill grew 13% to $1,665 million. They borrowed by choice, not by need. That's a position of strength. Remember that gross margin squeeze? Here's the other side of it. Strip out one-time accounting costs and the operating profit jumped. It climbed to $1,199 million. That grew 26% in a year, faster than the sales themselves. While the headline profit looked flat, the engine underneath is speeding up. And that's the gap that bears ignore. Here's demand that you can actually see. Customers pay before the service arrives. $8,030 million already in hand. That's $8 billion collected upfront before any work is even delivered. And in 1 year, subscriptions added $666 million in fresh sales. That's money that customers chose to commit in a quarter that everyone called scary.
And we're consolidating hundreds of those features and tool sets onto ServiceNow, saving companies millions and millions. That's why nearly 80% of the FT 500 in Europe are running ServiceNow, and 90% of the Global 2000 are running ServiceNow. So we're really moving out, leading the AI revolution.
This is the one that nobody talks about. ServiceNow has a data business hiding inside the platform. A top executive said on record that it will pass $1 billion in yearly sales.
The argument is not, is AI eating software? Actually, AI and software need to come together and fuse together to fundamentally run companies in a highly differentiated manner.
AI does not kill this company. AI is the demand that feeds it, a growth engine that the bears priced at zero. 4 red flags, 4 green flags. So when Wall Street weighs all of it, where do they actually land? 46 analysts cover ServiceNow on Wall Street. The consensus rating is buy. The median price target is 135, well above where it trades today. Let's see where 3 major firms land. Guggenheim just flipped to a buy, and the reason is fascinating. They do not even love the AI story. They upgraded because it got too cheap. When a skeptic turns to a buyer on price alone, the bar has dropped very low. Now let's look at Truist. They raised their target from 120 to 130. They maintain their buy rating. And notice something that makes them unique. Everybody else this spring is cutting. They are the only firm marking ServiceNow up. Evercore is the most bullish of the 3. They maintain their outperform rating with a price target of 150. They say the debate has shifted from AI fear to plain execution. Notice the pattern here. All 3 say to buy the stock, but the targets run from 125 to 150. They all agree on direction. They argue over how much. And the most recent one upgraded while still doubting the hype. That tells you that the fear is priced in. If you want to bring me your questions, my members get me live in office hours. So what does the institutional grade data say? The smart money on Wall Street. Let's cover that next. Cap IQ is a $25,000 per year subscription that I'm showing you guys today for free. If you want to invest like the pros, you need to see what the pros say. The analysts that I train at the top banks across Wall Street all use Cap IQ. Here's the ServiceNow valuation dashboard. Wall Street has a low value for ServiceNow of 85 and a high value of 236. The median value is 135, which is 28.8% above today. The overall rating is 1.42, which is a buy rating. For that median to be achievable, 3 things must be true. First, the signed backlog keeps growing quickly. Demand stays real. Second, the margin bleeding finally stops and costs come under control. Third, the new AI pricing actually works. Bundles lift deals, not lose them. Cap IQ does not give certainty, but it shows you what the biggest investors on the planet are betting on. The street sees big upside from here, but margins are still getting squeezed and the debt just piled up fast. So which side of this trade is reading the numbers right? At the start of this video, I introduced you to the demand test. The question was simple. Is real demand growing fast enough to justify the profit that they gave up? Here is the honest answer. The demand test right now is passing, but it's not locked in. And here's the number that proves it, page 28 of the filing. Their signed order backlog now sits at $27.7 billion. These are orders already under contract, and that pile grew 25% in just a year. The part due within the next 12 months grew 23%. This is signed, promised, and real. The spending is on customers who have already committed. And here's the piece that nobody mentions. The biggest customers keep multiplying. 630 now pay over $5 million each. A year ago, that number was 516, a 22% increase. The whales are not leaving, they're getting bigger.
And then fundamentally, almost overnight, you're going to see these stocks double and triple. And so we're not worried. We're not scared. We're actually leaning in. We're growing. We're innovating. We're focusing on the customer, inspiring our culture, and we're executing like there's no tomorrow. Right. So I'm very confident in the position of ServiceNow.
And almost none of them leave. 97 out of 100 stay. Now the safety net. $2.7 billion of cash on hand. That's enough to absorb the risk and keep building. If you want to see what a Wall Street Titan is doing, my Bill Ackman video talks about his latest $2 billion move. By next earnings just days away, we'll see if the demand held. If the backlog keeps growing, the bulls are winning. If it stalls, the bears might be right. If you don't know what a company's worth, you're guessing, not investing. If you want to learn how to value companies just like Wall Street does, scan the QR code on the screen.
You should seek the advice of an investment professional always. I do not know your individual financial situation. This content is meant to educate and is not investment advice.
That being said, my model shows an implied value of about $136. With the stock currently sitting near 105, that implies upside of almost 30%. So based on the numbers, ServiceNow has a buy rating. On Wall Street, a stock trading at greater than a 20% discount is considered a buy because it provides us a margin of safety. I do not currently hold a position in ServiceNow. My software exposure is with Adobe. But I am watching ServiceNow very closely. Pay attention to one thing moving forward. Does the signed backlog keep growing quickly at the next earnings report on July 22nd? If yes, the bet is heading in the right direction. If no, the bears might be right. That backlog direction is key. Are you a bull on ServiceNow here, or does the margin squeeze break the story? Let me know in the comments below. As always, be relentless.